percentage has she been involved in practice?
She's involved, I would say, 90% of what we're doing. But we pace her a little bit in some things. But
have you figured out?
She's making really good progress, and we just got to be careful. We don't overdo it with her in 2 days.
Have you figured out captains yet or team leadership
Nope,
structure?
that's actually going to happen tomorrow night.
Is it players deciding that, or what?
They're going to have a lot of input with. Let's see, how would I say this? They're going to have a lot of input, but they have to be able to back up their input and explain why. So we're going to go through that exercise with them on who they feel the captains are and why, and we'll announce by Saturday.
So, to what level have the freshmen pushed the older players?
I just think they've come in. These guys. I mean, there's 3 world champions. In here. As freshmen, they come in and they're competing. I mean, these guys don't they don't flinch. They don't back off. They've come in and competed. So it's just raised the level of our gym, and I think there's a major sense of urgency for how hard you have to train right now if you want to play.
What does it say about Lindsay that she came in and earned that belt first week of practice?
I told her, I can't remember, I think it was yesterday, I was having dinner with her, and I just told her, you know how big a deal that is. I mean, for a freshman to get that week 1 presented, and that was decided by the coaches and the grad managers and Kelly, that's a really big honor, and she agreed. So, but we make that belt pretty special. It's a heavy belt. That first time they grab it, they go, God, I didn't know this was so heavy, but we want it to be heavy because it means a lot. And to get that from that group is pretty impressive. Now, she'll present it again at the end of this week to who she feels has earned it, but I think that's a big statement for her.
What areas of progress are you most impressed with the week and a half into practice?
I think probably first of all, how hard we're playing and how hard we're competing. Mm-hmm. We are playing with, what's the saying, all gas, no brakes. That's how they're playing right now, and it's been every day in our 6-on-6 drills. They're playing really, really hard, and I think last year we got away with that and didn't do that as well. And part of it is because there wasn't competition for some spots. I mean, we had nobody else. So I think how hard they're playing right now is what's been impressed me the most. And usually you see it a couple days, in the honeymoon phase. But I mean, yesterday, it was warm here for an hour and a half. And warm. Maybe war is not the best analogy, but it was just high-level intensity of competition. That's a better way to say it. High level for an hour and a half, and it's been like that every day. That's what's impressed me the most.
When Lexi came in January and played on the B side, I assume most of the time, what stood out about Lexi in the spring, January, February?
She's an exceptional first contact player. I mean, passing her deep defense, she reminds me a lot of Justine. They just have a sixth sense. It's the only way I can explain it. They just have a sixth sense. Like they're where the balls hit, and they just have a great touch on the ball. And Justine was that way too. They're not the best athletes, but they just have a sixth sense of what's going on.
Is she ahead of the curve? Because the last couple of DSs you brought in were outside hitters or played other positions in high school, but she's always been a libero. Does that give her an advantage, not having to change positions at the college level?
I think so. But Kenzie Knuckles, it was new for her. And then same with Connor. She played some bro, some outside. I mean, she won state championships as an outside hitter. Mm-hmm. So you want athletes, but Lexi has been a bro. Well, she's actually a really good hitter for her size. She used to hit till she got to be 14, and then they made her libero. But she hit when she was, I think, in the 13s. And you watch her hit; she can bang.
What position has benefited most from having more competition this year than you had last year?
I think all the outside hitter positions in the middle without having Lauren, it's wide open. So and then we have basically 3 liberos that are all competing. So I would say everywhere Nicklin pushes herself. So I don't know how much. Kennedy's not quite there yet. Ani does a great job for her role. But every other position, great competition.
If you had to name a starting lineup, how long would it take you to fill out that card?
I couldn't do it right now. I mean, we talk about it every day. I have no idea. I mean, we're going to have to make a decision at some point. So we'll figure out Saturday night if we try to go with the starting lineup, or we just make even teams, or how we're going to do it. But like I said, he asked me, and I haven't thought about it yet.
What's that feeling like as a coach, knowing the amount that you bring back, but still that you have that much uncertainty because of the newcomers are that good?
Love it. That's why practices are so competitive. They're hungry. They're on the hunt, which love it.
Justine going to be at the Red White?
She was supposed to be here, and then she had something happen where she had to stay out there, so she's coming next week.
Anything else special planned for Red White events?
Yeah, we're going to do some cool stuff, which I can't tell you.
Like what's one thing?
Can't tell you.
I'll
tell you one thing. There's going to be. What can I talk
Let's
about?
sell some tickets.
Posters.
Let's sell some tickets.
Yeah. Well, it's already sold out. Huh?
Red White is sold out?
I know. Oh, it was over 7,000, so we're getting close. We're going to have an unbelievable poster that is really cool. I've already seen it, and I want to get one framed in my office. It's the most creative poster we've ever done. So that's going to be really cool. And there's going to be a lot of interaction with masks with our players and the fans. So we're not going to do autographs, but we're going to have some ways to interact with them that is safe for everybody, but it's going to make our fans feel really special. So how about that?
Like during the match?
It'll be before, during, and during, not after, because we have to shut it down because we'll get mobbed.
How has serving been going, and how are the freshmen doing behind the service line?
They make a lot of errors, but they're going for it, and we want them to be aggressive right now, and then continue to refine the errors and know when to keep them in. But it's typical for this time of year. That's why we work on it so much. You saw the freshmen around here working on it extra today at their choice. 6 best servers play.
So why do you think Lindsay got the belt? If somebody else awarded it, but why do you think they awarded it?
You have to ask those guys. I don't know. I was not in that discussion, and so that's a great question.
What excites you about the Red White match?
Playing in front of a crowd again. It's been 2 years, and I want them to see what this team's capable of doing. I think it's going to be some really exciting volleyball, and so that's what I'm most fired up about. And again, my big thing is I'm going to be trying to get our fans to make this a home game where they're cheering for both teams. So we're going to have a conversation before we start to get these fans fired up, because some of them I know don't like to cheer against certain players. So we want to make these freshmen go through a full crowd at Devaney, so they're used to it for next weekend.